Hey everyone, Julian here. Today we're going to be talking about how to make modern trance music, MRD, Narciss style. They just made a track together. I'm going to be covering it. To go along with this video, you can get this full track template. The link is at the top of the description on my website. It's a great, affordable template. It's really high quality, and you really will make the best track of your life today. If you grab this, I promise it'll really help you get to the next level. Thanks for the support, everybody, and let's dive in. Alright, so we're at 150 BPM. First thing we've got here is a sidechain, and then the kick. So this is a nice hard trance kick, right? I'm pretty sure this is actually from my Ultimate Hard Techno drum library. I'm just cutting out some of the sub at 31 hertz. Then we got the rest of the drums. So it starts here kind of like with the main drums, right? So we got like... So you can hear we have our clap. Layered with an 808 snare. Just giving that a bit more punch. Then we have our hi-hat. Right, like a very punchy one layered with the 909. Some background hi-hats as well, kind of dancing around each other. I have a 707 in here, so a lot of the sounds from these guys use a lot of these sounds, especially that cowbell. Right, so it's a bunch of percussion. If you play it with the hi-hat, you can kind of hear it, how it fits in better. Right, it's just bouncing around, all of that. You gotta tune the cowbell though. You wanna make sure the cowbell is like pretty much not clashing with the other stuff. Then we have this little rave loop. Just adds some kind of like old school textured percussion, right? And it adds something a little bit less rigid. Because if you play all the drums without that, right? It's definitely got a lot of power, but it's very rigid and programmed. This gives you something a little bit more lively. That's just mixed in there. Then we have the lead. Now, this is actually being layered with this little guitar sound. Right, they kind of come together to create one. So what we're doing here is we're in the key of C minor. You can see we're literally just using the notes from a C minor chord. The root note, the minor third, the fifth, and then we're using the minor seventh. Right, at the end there, just kind of give us like a little variation. But it's like picking this drone here and just repeating it and changing the endings. So for the sound, like I said, it's the two layers for this wavetable. So it's kind of like a super saw. We've just got, saw wave. Little bit low pass to get rid of the like really bright highs. Classic unison, delay, reverb, high pass, and then we're side chaining it. And then this one. So it's this guitar, kind of like, this old classic trancey sound. Almost like, like the Robert Miles Children type of guitar, right? And we're using that sound, this very like digital MIDI sounding guitar, but it sounds cool. Like I said, it definitely has that classic trance vibe. A little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb, high pass, and then we're side chaining it. Don't really need too much else. Then we've got the bass line. So this is a nice trancey, almost like a side trance rolling bass, right? And what we're doing here is, so we got this chord progression in the key of G sharp major, right? Or C minor, however you want to look at it. So we're going G sharp major, root note, G minor, major seventh, C, which would be the major third, it's C minor, and then A sharp major, which would technically be like the ninth. And then it's these rolling notes. You can see I've cut out every quarter note. And also, they're not touching each other. Very important with these. Because if you make them touch each other, I talk about this a lot, but like, it really makes a difference if you make those the right length. For the sound, I'm using operator. The reason we use operator for these basses so much is because of the phase reset. So you can see I'm using a saw wave with a sine wave. There's no FM though. But this phase reset, it makes it work better for the trance bass. Because if you turn that off, see how it's kind of like changing quickly on every single note? It's a little bit different. That phase reset keeps it really tight. We got a low pass filter with a little bit of an envelope, side chain, and then we're cutting out quite a bit of sub. I've noticed with these guys' tracks, you know, they really do cut out quite a bit out of the bass, especially with the kick. You know, you almost wanted to sit on top of that kick a little bit. And also this helps the mastering. So the whole thing isn't too crunchy with like the hi-hats and stuff. Then we got this pad. So this is another layered sound. We got this guitar layered with the string. So yeah, I noticed a lot of just like classic old school layered type of sounds with this track, right? So what we're doing here is these are just the same chords I showed you with the bass line. Just with root note, fifth, and then major or minor third at the top. Right, if you spread them across the different octaves like that, instead of having them all in the same octave, you can get a more full sound. Then, so what we're doing here is we're layering together. It's actually the same guitar I showed you before, but this one's going through an amp, so without it. With it, right, it makes it quite a bit brighter, which fits better into what we need this to do in the layer. This is really just meant to be like that bright high end. We got some delay, reverb, sidechain, high pass, then the string. So I'm actually using a string sample. I was trying to get that more like old school type of effect, and I think that really helps. We got that, reverb, sidechain, high pass, and then the last layer down here is this sort of like backup pad. So again, this is kind of fitting under the other pad and like that other main chord progression. I'll show you with the bass line and the pad what this is doing. So it's essentially a counter melody, right? It's like a pad, but it's playing a melody. It's all just notes in that C minor scale, and if you put them together like this, you can create something really cool that's going to play against the other stuff and not clash with it, but kind of just add to it musically. So for the sound on this one, it's made with wavetable. We've got this riser wavetable, and then a little triangle wave. I've got a low pass filter. You can see there's a little LFO on the first one's oscillator position. We've got some unison, reverb, sidechain. And there we are. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project files, samples, MIDI, presets. The entire template is available at the top of the description on my website. Definitely don't miss out while it's available. It's a really accessible and affordable template that's extremely high quality, as you heard. And it'll really help you get where you're trying to get with these tracks. It's all set up, ready for you to make your own track with it. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Every little bit helps. I really don't make a whole lot with YouTube, but I'm able to keep going with these sample pack sales and all that. Thanks for the support, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.